I don't know if you can hear that, but the wind is really winding today. Let me sit here. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah. The time is 6:26 p.m. Yep. I think this is Ramadan Reflection number 8. I'm really proud of myself that I've been doing this somewhat consistently. For those of you that don't know, this podcast is sponsored by Human Appeal. If you donate £70 to the link in the description below, you can support a family for the entire month of Ramadan in Syria, Somalia, Afghanistan and Yemen. Again, sponsored by Human Appeal. Human Appeal are doing absolutely amazing work. We actually might be changing the fundraiser for the last few nights of Ramadan to help the people out in Palestine. So again, make sure you follow me on Instagram so you can keep up with all that, and also follow this podcast, subscribe, etc. Blah blah blah. Anyway, I digress. Moving on. Today's reflection, a very quick one. I'm trying to make these shorter ones. I know people's after Ramadan I might go back to longer form ones, but I'm trying to keep these to 10-minute, 11-minute ones. The reminder I wanted to kind of say today, and the reflection I've been having, I had it yesterday with a conversation with my friend and a conversation with my brother. And basically my reflection is, don't let this dunya fool you. And then you're probably asking, what do you mean, Umar? How can the dunya fool me? I am, however old I am, and I'm relatively attuned to, I can't be deceived. But yeah, I mean, when I say don't let this dunya fool you, I'm saying I know this dunya poses itself as something that has the answers. Oh, you're feeling a certain way, or you want something from this life, whether it be a relationship, money, status, blah blah blah. All these things, they are fleeting things. They're things that when you get them, if you hold on to them for a certain amount of time, a month, a year, eventually they won't carry the same weight as when you once first found them. For example, anyone that's ever came into a large sum of money, it's that first time when you go from not having money to having money, it's you love it, and you get caught up in the feeling of it, but it eventually fades. And I think that's maybe the main reflection is everything that is inherently this dunya is fading. And the thing is with that, you can't build happiness. If everything in this dunya is fading, you can't build everlasting happiness or contentment within that thing, because it's going to eventually fade away. If I said, oh, put all your money in this stock or put all your money in this thing, but eventually it's going to go bankrupt or something, you'd be well, I can't put everything into it, because again, by its nature, it's not going to last. And I feel in my mind and in my life at the moment, I'm at this crossroads when I'm faced with a decision again. And I've been faced with this decision many times. And again, I could maybe fall back into the dunya. That happens a lot of times. Again, even when I went Medina, I remember when I went Medina and I was on this high and blah blah blah, and then I came back, and then again within the weeks I eventually came back, and I was again part of the dunya. When I mean part of the dunya, is just treating this dunya as if it's something even worth thinking about too much. And you're probably thinking, what do you mean? I mean and I don't really prescribe this. I don't even say to a lot of people, oh yeah, all of you have to have this belief. Maybe it's just, and not to say I'm special and it's only for me, but maybe it is. I know I don't look at the world as a lot of people do, and my feelings towards the world and things are not the same as other people's. But again, like I said, this podcast is a reflection for myself, to myself, and anyone else that helps along the way. But if again, this dunya is just, is the dunya is, I've learnt from a very young age, and I'm always reminded, and I'm always seeing, I know the dunya is not the answer. No amount of women, no amount of money, no amount of status or respect is going to give you that feeling when you go, ah, now I get it. Now I'm part of the dunya. Now I'm like, it won't give you that satisfaction you're looking for. So why are you looking for it in the dunya? Allah has told you it's not in the dunya. So why are you still looking for it here? And again, there's that famous statement, oh, being rich and famous won't make you happy, but everyone wants to find out for themselves. Why do you want to find out for yourself? Why do you want to go down a road which many people have traveled before and they've told you that it doesn't make them happy? That what you're searching for is not down that road. So why do you keep going down that road? Again, I'm saying this to myself. Why do I keep going down that road? And it's like, I know the road that's led me to happiness and contentment. And it's the road where I was in a village in Africa that was constantly surrounded with dhikr of Allah and prayer, and everything was built around the prayer. That was when I was at my most content. That was when I was at my most content, and my happiness, and it was unmatched ever. And then another time again was, I remember when I did Umrah, and then I went to Medina, and just living I was there for maybe like a week, and I was like just living in the city of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I was like, that was when I was happy. That was when I was content. And then it's like, I just look at myself, and I just look at my life, and I just go, Umar, just remember all the times worth remembering. Let's put it that way. Because when I talk about my dunya memories, they're not really the good ones. They're usually like, you know how sometimes bad situations create good stories, and sometimes we think that's like a good memory. It's not a good memory. Like, I have a lot of stories to tell based on like certain situations or whatever happened, but in the moment, like let's say I'm talking about, oh Lord, I don't know what we're talking about. Let's say I'm talking about a heartbreak. Because again, I've been through heartbreak. Again, when you look back at it, yeah, you get all these lessons, and yeah, you get all these things, and blah blah blah, etc., etc. You get all these good wisdoms from it as well. But when you went through it, it wasn't a good experience. When I went through it, it wasn't a good experience. When I went through nights where I thought I was gonna die, like, it wasn't a good experience. It's a great story, but when I actually go back to the lived experiences of those realities, I was like, they weren't enjoyable at all. And then it makes you think, when it's like, again, when you go back to the emotions rather than, oh, what story you can tell after, it's like, oh yeah, and these were all situations that came from me, i.e. either chasing the dunya or chasing something other than Allah. And again, like I said, I'm at a crossroads in my life now where it's like, I feel like Allah's giving me another chance to be like, yo, I'm giving you another chance. And again, the thing is, he'll probably give me many more after this, because I'll probably slip up. But again, in terms of talking about right now, it's like, I'll give you another chance to come back, and because you know what the answer is. Some people don't know what the answer is, and you can't really hold them accountable to it. But it's like, but you, Umar, you know the answer. And whoever's listening to this, and you think you know the answer, you know the answer. You know where it is. You know what it is you need to do, and you know that true happiness and contentment is with Allah. But you still choose to look for it in the dunya, which I could say is borderline taking you out the fold. I'm joking. but yeah, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, yeah, this is the answer. And it's like, I'm not gonna try sometimes, because even that, you know, like when people, like, they come to deen, that you can that's another thing. When sometimes people make this journey back to deen, you can tell that they're still trying to hold on to the reminiscence. The reminiscence. Is it reminiscence? When it's like I'm not going to try to say that word, because someone's looking at me like, do you mean Renaissance? No, I don't mean that. The reminiscence. I think it's reminiscence. I'm not sure. I'm going to stop thinking it's that, because I don't know if it is. But anyway, no, but I'm saying, you can see sometimes when people chase, like when they make the decision to actively come back to the deen, they still try to hold on to their dunya world and their dunya reality. And sometimes they even try to seek dunya things through the illusion of deen, whether it be, they truly want respect and blah 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 and money and stuff. So they tried to go at it, but through a deen route, through using Islam as the route to get what they want in the dunya. Again, don't think your ego's dumb. Your ego knows everything you know and probably a bit more. So it's like it will use a good intent, a good idea, or what seems to be good as a way to get respect. Like, for example, like, you know, some people give to charity, but they give to charity to be seen as charitable. You've missed the point of charity then, because I remember there's, I think it's even a hadith where it says like, give charity so discreetly that your right hand doesn't know that your left hand gave it, or left hand that didn't know that your right hand gave it. But it's that thing of like, yeah, it's meant to be a discreet thing. Unless you're genuinely do it for the intention of inspiring someone else to do it. Again, these are all intentions. We don't know what they are, blah, blah, blah. We can just have husn and a good opinion and keep it pushing. But yeah, no, I think that's, I'm going to stop it here because it's going to go into the reflection, a story almost I want to tell tomorrow about a man named Booger Bai in Medina Bai in Senegal, Kaolack. I want to give a full podcast dedicated to my friend, who passed away last year, I think. And I want to give a whole podcast dedicated to him. When I say he was my friend, he was about a 70 or 80-year-old man in a village in Senegal. But again, he taught me a very valuable lesson. But yeah, anyway, that will be tomorrow's episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm really enjoying this podcast. I tell you, again, sometimes people might. I remember like this is in terms of this on YouTube, because on Instagram and TikTok, alhamdulillah, the views are really well. On YouTube, like the views aren't doing so well. And I said, you know, when you found your purpose and something, you're not worried about the what's the word, the results, because you're enjoying the process. I'm saying, the little 100, 200, 300 views that this is getting, you know how many messages I've got in the comments, on my Instagram, and on everything else. Like the type of messages I'm getting are so much more like beneficial than like whatever I was doing before, basically with skits or music or whatever. Again, I don't think anything's wrong with these things. I'm not like, oh, I think music's haram, that's why I've gone away from it. No, I enjoy poetry more. I enjoy doing this podcast and philosophy more, and I'm going to continue to go down this road. And this will be a great thing because you guys get to join me on that journey, because I'll be doing these for, inshallah, the rest of my life, and in, again, different ways and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, assalamu alaikum. Make sure you donate to the description, in the link in my bio, in the description, or in my bio on my Instagram. Make sure you donate generously, 70, 40, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 100 pounds, 1,000 pounds. If you have 10 bags, give me 10 bags. But but yeah, I will see you in the next episode tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum. Have a blessed Ramadan and make the most of these last 10 nights. Assalamu alaikum.